Hello and welcome back to my channel where I talk about Japan and the JET program, so if either of those things interest you, be sure to subscribe. So it is November and this month my set of buildings that I live in is getting 2 new ALTs, so that's exciting. Finally some fresh meat around these parts. Gross.
We ain't had
Any new ALTs
for
2
stinking
years.
Why can't we have some meat? What about them? They're fresh.
Yeah, there was no new ALTs last year, obviously. And so that's got me thinking about when I first arrived to Japan and what I knew and what I didn't know and what helped and didn't help and so on. So with that in mind, I thought this week I would tell you guys my top 10 apps and or websites that are very useful and or essential when you arrive in Japan and just living here as a foreigner that really just help you out and that I use all the time. These apps and websites have a range of purposes. Some will apply to all of you if you're living in Japan, and some of them are more targeted towards specific kinds of people, but you never know when one of these could come in helpful, so be sure to stick around to hear them all. And if you have any of your own suggestions which aren't mentioned on this list, be sure to comment them below. Alright, let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first app truly is essential, and that is Line. Basically the WhatsApp of Japan. I actually prefer it a lot to WhatsApp, and I wish my friends back in Scotland would get it. So if any of my friends back in Scotland are watching this, hit me up on Line. Like literally everyone in Japan uses it. If you're meeting people for the first time and stuff, or I don't know, if you're talking to people on Tinder or something, you'll be like, oh, add me on Line. That's often the initial way you'll get contact information for people. Also, there's just so many fun stickers and themes and stuff. I'll put some on screen. They do cost a little bit of money, but honestly, worth it. So speaking of money, another essential app in my opinion is Wise, formerly known as TransferWise. And this is so good for transferring money back and forth between Japan and your home country, which really is a bit of a pain and can be expensive also, but it's really cheap through Wise. The fees are like super minimal. It's so fast. If I'm ever running low on money and I want to bring some savings over from the UK, it's just done, got it. And you best believe I'm sending myself money from the UK a lot more than I'm sending savings back because, well, let's move on. This is just too painful to talk about.
Help me, I'm poor.
Although speaking of your Japanese bank account, when you first arrive especially, that can take a while. So I didn't have a bank card, but I needed stuff. I needed things to live. Of course I had some cash for like food and whatnot, but like, you know, you want to get things online, things for your apartment. And so the next app I'm recommending, website really, is Amazon. And the reason is because in Japan, most items you can order for cash on delivery. So you don't need a bank card, you don't need a residence card, you don't need ID, you just need to have cash when the delivery man comes.
Cash on delivery.
to me, now that I've experienced it, is in itself an adventure.
Okay, so the next app is language-based. Of course, Google Translate exists, and Google Translate is very helpful. I would say that Google Translate is better for translating sentences and passages in order to understand the gist, but for specific words and stuff, especially when you're trying to communicate in Japanese, there's an app called Takoboto, which I think just means like octopus bot.
What the hell?
This is great for specific words because you can type the word in Japanese or English. It'll show you a bunch of possibilities and similar words. It'll tell you which ones are commonly used. It'll show you the different ways you can write it or how it's spoken in different ways and stuff because, you know, Japanese is complicated and one size does not fit all. Maybe you're making a worksheet for class and you want to include a Japanese word here and there to help the kiddos because Google Translate will not work for just translating full instructions. To be clear, this is not a language learning app, but certainly you can use it in conjunction with other apps to help you learn, I'm sure. I haven't done that. Like, we've all seen my attempt at learning Japanese on this channel. It didn't go well. have not continued it. But anyway, enough studying chat. Let's talk about something more fun. And in this case, what I'm talking about is karaoke, which is super popular in Japan, and inevitably you will go. If you're in Japan, you will go to karaoke.
I am inevitable.
And Joy Sound is one of the available machines at a lot of the big karaoke places, and the reason I'm suggesting getting the app for it is because when you're there, if you connect it to the machine, you can choose songs directly from your phone, and that is just updated a lot more, so you can play a lot more recent songs and just way more variety, especially with the English music. Okay, I'm gonna fire off 3 more shopping apps quickly at you now, and the first one is Iherb. This is like so random, but did you guys know that Asian people's sweat is different? Like, it doesn't smell, it doesn't stink, it doesn't have that BO stank. The reason I'm bringing it up is because apparently, this is what someone told me, deodorants in Japan don't really work for us, at least in regards to covering up our smell from sweat, because there's no ingredients in it to stop that, because they don't need it here. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I am no scientist. This is going off of word of mouth and a very quick Google search.
What the hell?
Anyway, the point is I get my deodorant from Iherb. Which is great for skincare and supplements and things like that. It's got free delivery to Japan if you spend X amount of money, but it's not that much, and it's super, super fast delivery as well. And for all my large-footed friends out there, ASOS is your best friend. You best believe there are no UK size 13s in Japan, so I order all them online.
I admit I have some mighty big shoes to fill. Big but if you give me a chance, I promise big shoes to fill. 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 In ancient Greece, there was a school of thought called Stoicism.
Wait a minute!
ASOS has size 13s.
Again, it's free delivery if you spend X amount of money, but it's not free return, so bear that in mind. Don't go crazy with shoes, because shoes are heavy and therefore expensive to return. And then finally we have Marukai, which is kind of like eBay, I guess, like people selling secondhand stuff. I've certainly bought a lot of stuff over there, namely my couch I got from there really cheap, delivered, set up for me and stuff, all included in the cost, was delightful. The couch featured in my mockumentary apartment tour / found footage horror movie video, if you remember that one.
Oh, I see he's got a couch here. Ah, looks like the Scotsman got this couch secondhand using the Marukai app. Go, 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 go!
Let's talk about a more social-based app. Specifically, this one is for the gays. I'm gonna assume if you're watching this and you are one of the gays, that you are familiar with Grindr. But there is another gay dating app called 9monster, which is way more popular, so you will find a lot more people on those apps, especially outside of the big cities. What I will say though is that most of the people on that won't speak English. There's really not a lot of foreigners on there, at least compared to Grindr. But 9monster does automatically translate your messages, which is nice, so, you know, pick and choose your battles here. I will say it does have some strange, slightly creepy at times features. It's kind of like got the vibe of a game almost at times, like you have an assigned level. A sexy, sexy gay egg.
Very seductive. You could get hooked on this.
Don't know how we feel about this. This is so ridiculous, but then there's also really weird features like, and you get notifications like,
What the hell?
there are more people. That is the point I'm trying to make. Okay, moving on. Okay, and the final app is specific to Hyogo Prefecture, where I am placed, but I'm sure there are similar apps for the other prefectures or cities or areas, whatever. And that is the Hyogo Disaster Alert Warning app thing. So if there's going to be like an earthquake coming or a typhoon's coming up or something like that, it'll warn you. You'll get like a million notifications. I feel very lucky that it has not come into play. I have not interacted with this app much, but you know, it's better to be safe than sorry, and it kind of gives you a bit of peace of mind if that's something you're worried about. Something to bear in mind as well is that with the apps, which are literally Japanese apps for Japanese things, sometimes they're not available in the UK or whatever, and so if you are signed into Google Play, or I guess the Apple Store, I don't use that so I don't know, with a UK email address or account, then you may not be able to do it. But I have 2 Google accounts. One is for YouTube, which I registered to Japan, and so I just switched to that one and then I can download it through that, so bear that in mind. Okay, and that is my top 10 recommended apps/websites to help you out as a foreigner living in Japan. Did any of the apps and websites I mentioned make you go, ooh, I gotta get that? Comment it below. Which apps are you gonna definitely use after watching this video? Alright, thank you as always. If you found this video helpful, please do click the like button. I really appreciate it. Subscribe for more videos about my time in Japan or in the JET program, or check out my Patreon page for bonus content, behind the scenes stuff, lesson plans and materials, JET application help, all that good stuff. You can check it out. It's all linked in the description. See you next time. Bye. Whee! Oh my god, I'm gonna dip on my floor, I'm gonna fall.
I know you